Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Children's Arena here in Oshawa for a matchup between the Peterborough Timbermen and the Oshawa Outlaws. Scrum draw here. Peterborough in the orange uniforms. Working right to left here in period number one. Navy with the red lettering for the Oshawa Outlaws. They occupy the visitors' bench here in this game. Quickly down the floor, the shot through the legs of Ethan Woods, the starter for Peterborough Oshawa. A 1-0 lead. It takes 20 seconds to get them on the board. Coming into the game, Oshawa and Paris tied with 3 wins on the season. Both of them 2 back of first, 1 back of the tie for second place, which includes the Peterborough Timbermen. They picked up their first loss of the season last week. They sit at 4-1 behind St. Catharines 5-0. And as we speak, St. Catharines and Toronto set to play at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center for first place. A game you can see on the rest of our YouTube channel. McCrory from Mike Triolo and Paul Jelly. That's Ryan McCrory, giving Oshawa the 1-0 victory, the first ever Arena Lacrosse League Cup champions, and another goal through the legs of Ethan Woods. And you can make it 2-0 early on in the opening minute here for the Oshawa Outlaws. Timbermen without Nick DeMood tonight, who has been the goaltender most of the way earlier this week, signing a practice roster contract with the Rochester Nighthawks. One of the beautiful things of the Arena Lacrosse League. Players being able to keep playing in the winter, as this is a massive scrum for this draw. Diving attempt, and they score 3 shots, 3 goals in 1 minute and 7 seconds this time, as Graham Bergsma slots in for this face-off for Oshawa. Peterborough crouching in as well. And it will be the Peterborough draw man, Doug Utting. An unassisted goal by Mark DeBrone. And a 3-0 lead for the Oshawa Outlaws. Oshawa Outlaws, as we said, winning the first ever Arena Lacrosse League Cup. Last year, the Whitby Steelhawks capturing that. Steelhawks earlier today. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the game yet. Picking up their first win of the season, moving to 1-6. Still sitting in 7th place in the Arena Lacrosse League standings. A pretty good second half for them as they put it together. Jeff McNulty will high step his way over the restraining line. Arena Lacrosse League Cup has never left the Durham region. It's been out east since the inception of the league. Ethan Woods there with the strip out of his own crease. And the Sticks come alive on the home bench of the Peterborough Timbermen. In front of Joe Sullivan, Ray Danson, Derek Croak. Cameron Simpson, he goes to the far side. Big swim move there. And the first save of the game made by Rance Vigneault, who gets the start for the Oshawa Outlaws. Ryan Schutzkowski will be his backup. High bounce here, and it drops down right for Ryan McCrory over top of the defender. Home bounce on the blue carpet for the boys in blue, as John St. John will now slow things down. Longest stretch without a goal now for Oshawa is a sidearm shot there from Mike Triolo. Originally drafted by the Rochester Nighthawks after his junior graduate year. He is very familiar to lacrosse in this Oshawa area, including here in the winter. It's the 3rd season he's dressed in outlaw and navy blue. 3 minutes down in this first of 15-minute quarters. Shot clock down to 10 as it's put up top, and trickling through the legs, picked out of the crease, trying to goal as there was a pile up, and down was Vigneault. The ball squirted out the back door. Initial shot from up top was Tim Bergen. And I'm not sure who picked up the rebound. But regardless, it is a 3-1 lead now for Oshawa as Peterborough gets one back. This Timbermen squad capable of matching runs with their counterparts. As we said, picking up just their first loss of the season last week against the St. Catharines Shockwave. Cameron Simpson was the goal scorer. The unassisted goal as we watched Mark DeBrone make a bid for his second of the quarter. Haven't even hit the officials' timeout yet. Already 3-1. A ripper off the bench. And squaring to that was Vigneault to make the save. They've got a man down floor. And putting the brakes on is Tyler Roach. As Roach pushes it outside and the O unit make the long run here in the first quarter into the attacking zone. Pass a little bit behind Cam Garland there. Another lacrosse player, very familiar to playing ball in this area in winter and in summer. As backpedaling here is Bergen. Fred Hartley got the step and it bounces to Bergen. They called for a reset as it was played over to the far side. Bouncing ball ends up in the Oshawa bench. Cam Mancini. You're going to say it bounced off Mancini. And pile up just inside a half as Fred Hartley goes down. Over to the far side, halfway through the shot clock. Ball up top for Aaron Woods. Woods spinning around. As it's picked up by Oshawa, they'll send two in the attacking zone. Leading the way is McCrory. Rob Clofer trailing. Clofer over top of the ball. Still loose as it comes to the restraining line and pushed out over center. Now chasing it down is Mike Ribka. Bergen will win the loose ball battle though right near the restraining line, and we're past the 5-minute mark and into officials timeout territory here. Those officials are Dave Hallett, the crew chief, Kyle Kropman, and Brad Giroux, who I hope they got their sprints in before this game, because so far, fast back and forth action here in the Arena Lacrosse League. Colton Armstrong, he picks up the loose ball. Shot there, sidearm from Aaron Woods, and that should be the officials' timeout. Yes, it will, with 9:11 remaining. 3-1 in a quick start between Oshawa and Peterborough. Play restarts in the Oshawa zone as Tyler Roach drops the shoulder, runs down, and nice stick check there from behind. As now swinging over top of it, Mike Triolo using that big body to posture up over top. Cross for John St. John. Pick and roll as the roll comes here from Garland, who goes and takes the shot. Save made there by Woods as it rolls into the corner. Garland sending it back up top. St. John to Triolo. He wears the C for this team. The one-handed throw backwards. And as it gets close to the crease, the bench calling for a penalty there on Ryan Vigneault, who touched it to stop that ball before it got to the corner. But as Graham Bergsma jogs it up over center, there will be no penalty called. Mike Ribka. Over to the far side, John St. John back up top. Into the corner, looking for it. It bounces away from Jeremy McWaters. And now, taken out of the corner, slowly up over center. That took about 6 out of the 8 seconds. Cam Simpson to throw it to the far side. Halfway through the shot clock now, as Bergen. Nowhere for him to shoot. Bergen back around. A bouncer. Did it get through? Yes, it did, and it bounced up and hit the rafters. The officials want to discuss here. Dave Hallett and Kyle Kropman. Excuse me. not at center, the rare restraining line face-off. Graham Bergsma versus Brett Coons. Here at the dot, if I'm not mistaken, teammates a couple years ago in winter ball. As it's pulled free, and Timbermen thought they had it, but out of the stick of Zach Thompson, and then a big hit far side, but Graham Bergsma there to recover the loose ball. He looks off Triolo and St. John before sending far side to Josh Gilray. Cutter, the shot, and I think John St. John had snuck all the way down. Excuse me, it was Dylan Goddard who got credit for the first goal for Oshawa. Timbermen have stopped the bleeding here a little bit as 3 goals in the first minute and 7 seconds put them up 3-0. A Peterborough answer from Cam Simpson on the NLL pull it out of the crease rule. Here's Bergen, the quick shot at the tail end of the shot clock. That did reset it. He picks up his own rebound to the cage and scores. One-man effort there from Tim Bergen to pull Peterborough back within 1. You can reach into the crease. You have to pull the ball out before taking your shot. Cam Simpson did that on the first goal, and it counted. And then Tim Bergen, great work, taking the shot right at the tail end of the shot clock, getting his own rebound, and now his Peterborough Timbermen trail only 3-2 after that blistering start for Oshawa. Flip pass here, big collision as Cam Simpson turned the corner. Another shot and a goal. Cam Simpson's got his second. I hope an assist goes to Aaron Woods here as his flip pass in on the sideboards was a thing of beauty to get it out to Simpson in the first place. But man, they were beating and banging on each other right in front of the crease, as Simpson paid the price. Back to the dot. It's Coons again, as he crouches in with Paul Jelly this time. Jelly will play it back to Josh Taguri, who gets bowled over. And an over and back, I think, against Oshawa. We'll hand it to Zach Thompson. Man, there are some big boys throwing weight around so far in this game. It is fast-paced and hard-hitting, as we've come to expect action here in the Arena Lacrosse League. Simpson looking for the first period hat-trick here. Gets back for Woods. Aaron Woods flipping it back for Bergen. Bergen turning the Jets on late in the shot clock. Again, a shot from the far side. And the save made by Rance Vigneault. Bouncer off a stick, Ryan McCrory. I misspoke earlier, saying that Goddard got the first one. It was McCrory with the first one, but 10 seconds later, Dylan Goddard getting credit for the second Oshawa goal that trickled over the line. This is Goddard here, and the more traditional from up top, a skipper just in front of the Timberman goal that ends up finding the mesh in behind. Goddard's got his second. And the Oshawa Outlaws have regained the lead. So we'll be in officials' timeout territory in 5 seconds. Cam Mancini. Comes back up top for McNulty. ISO play here with Triolo the shot. Woods isn't sure where it is. As the bouncer comes across, John St. John getting there first. He falls, and Doug Utting still struggling to pick up. Now it bounces away from McNulty into the stick of Utting. And Utting will put the brakes on at the restraining line. Utting now the flip to Aaron Woods. He cuts the corner and the twist shot. I don't think it hit the goaltender. Shot clock continues to tick down. Now picked up. Where's the ball? I think it ended up in the Oshawa Outlaws bench. That'll take us to the officials' timeout. 7 goals already in the first 10 minutes, 4:11 left when we come back out of the timeout. So some miscommunication in front of the Outlaws bench on who flipped it in there. So we go back to the face-off dot and flipped over top of everybody by Tyler Roach. Back for Taguri. Roach got tied up in behind the play. Excuse me, Rob Clofer. From the corner, the dive play and the goal. Mike Triolo. Biggest it's been was Oshawa's 3-0, where they fought, Peterborough fought all the way back. Early movement here from Paul Jelly against Brett Coons. That'll be the battle to watch here today, as Paul Jelly making a case for himself as one of the best draw men in the league here in the Arena Lacrosse League so far this season. Bergen around the corner, goes to the far side. Bit of a tug, shot and a goal though. As Fred Hartley, he's been working that left side early on in this game, and he does it again. As Peterborough pulls back within 1. And a conversation in the crease of Rance Vigneault. He wanted clarification on something down there. As Jelly and Coons back to the face-off circle. 3.5 left in the first quarter. A 5-4 lead here for the Oshawa Outlaws. Lyman Beatty turns the ball over and wouldn't step back, and Lyman Beatty is getting the first penalty of the game as the Oshawa Outlaws excuse me, I think Peterborough is the home team today, as they're on the home bench. Either way, the first Visionware power play of the game. This is the Peterborough Timbermen's home barn, as it is for the Oshawa Outlaws and the Whitby Steelhawks, who played earlier this afternoon. And what's becoming a weekly tradition, Saturday Arena Lacrosse League doubleheaders here at Children's. Save there from Woods. Goddard flips it back, looking for John St. John, and miscommunication there, quickly running onto it. Doug Utting wanted their quick restart, but St. John able to get back, and they're going to hear about it. They're already hearing about it from head coach Steve McCarthy. Here's Aaron Woods for Utting. Ball in front of the Oshawa Outlaws bench. Shot clock down to 5. Have to get one away. Can't get it through. Graham Bergsma out in the corner. And a bouncer will end up in the stick of Ryan Nolan as he gets a fresh 30 seconds. St. John, the flip to Triolo. 50 seconds here in this power play as Triolo's up top. He goes around the back. Shot there from McWaters. Bounces off a couple of boards before coming back for Colton Armstrong. And Armstrong, his shot, not sure where it is. Looking for it still is Vigneault. He's down on his knees. Now gets up as it had rolled through the crease. And Strocher. Excuse me, that's Brad Lyons. As the ball is pushed up the floor for Cam Garland. And now Triolo up top. Shot straight down the pipe, and Woods there to make the save. Rebound picked up by the Timbermen. Need to get it across center. They do. Colton Armstrong is going to take it himself, and Armstrong lost the ball before a big hit and then tied up with Ryan McRory. And McRory arguing that their sticks were tied up, but the moving screen called there to hand the ball back to the Timbermen. And as we near the final minute of play, Oshawa leading by 1 as we go back to 5-on-5 lacrosse. What a first quarter we've seen here at Children's Arena. Oh, look at the ball movement now as they work it back down to the crease. And Fred Hartley had to double clutch just enough to get Vigneault across the crease to make the save. Here's Ryan McCrory. Up across the restraining line, he puts the brakes on. Pushes it down the wall. Up top, Goddard. Through a crowd, high pass intended for Mike Rybka. Now Woods steps out of the crease. 30 seconds here. No time, I think, for Peterborough to go 2 for 1. So Oshawa will get the ball back with about 3 seconds remaining if they take the shot clock all the way down. Hartley. Here's Bergen now. Tim Bergen is going to take it himself, takes the shot. 12 seconds remaining in the period, 10 now. And tie up by Oshawa, and I think the Outlaws have called timeout. This is their one permitted for the first half. They'll discuss the goalie outplay with 10 seconds remaining, see if they can stretch this lead to 2. Ontario Reign. Cam Garland. Triolo. Quickly to the far side, running out of time, 2 seconds. Need a shot here from Goddard. He gets it right at the horn and then taken into the end boards after the fact from Stephen Borden. And it looks like everyone's going to go their separate ways. 5-4, an exciting first quarter here. Teams have switched ends here, 5-4 in favor of the Oshawa Outlaws. As Paul Jelly and Brett Coons, one-on-one. Jelly looked like he used the butt end of the stick to win that face-off back into his own zone. Oshawa working right to left now, and they do indeed speed up here, as this is the quick offensive change period. Draw team getting off for the Outlaws. As John St. John works out of the corner. Here's Triolo. He's got Gilray on his side. Gilray trying to set a pick, 5 on the shot clock. As Goddard, a low shot there. And a soak from Colton Armstrong, and then he turns on the Jets to turn it into a breakaway. And it's through the legs of Vigneault. He wasn't sure where it was. It does go over the timeline. No over and back called as it was off the rebound. As the low shot there, and then filled in after the fact was the Timbermen forward. This will be over and back, as it was Coons who took the shot. Well, we've made it through the first minute here. This was already at this point in the first, well, at this point right here, 3-0 for the Oshawa Outlaws in that first period, and they're quick starting again. This time Mike Rybka through a crowd. Bergsma crouching in now against Doug Utting, the first time we've seen him at the faceoff dot today. And it is won here by Oshawa. And Rob Clofer. Clofer trying to walk it down the boards. Big pile up over there. I haven't seen the shot clock set yet. And it was ticking down though, as now it'll reset in favor of Peterborough as Doug Utting draws it free, and up top for Zach Thompson. Change ongoing here for Peterborough as they put it on the wall. Quickly passed up for Bergen. Hard pass as they were intending to spring Cam Mancini, but it just hooked at the end of the stick a little bit. I believe that was Bergsma trying the outlet pass. Zach Thompson, his pass into the corner intended for Vredenberg. Vredenberg back up top for Fred Hartley now. Hartley recovering back at the restraining line. Shot from Vredenberg. Ball ended up going wide. 5 on the shot clock. To the crease, turning and firing. Aaron Woods. But Rance Vigneault there make the save. Bergsma. Across center. Bergsma. Triolo behind the back. The bouncer. And Triolo taken hard into the end boards. He turns around and has something to say to Travis Elvins. And then Triolo dropped right on the crease. And 2 of the 3 officials put their arms high as Dalton Hill came over to Dalton Hill. So the Oshawa Outlaws on the Visionware power play once again. Scoreless on their first opportunity as John St. John has it up top. That one ticked off the pipe before going up out of play. Goddard in the corner. Back up for St. John, a pick in the middle. As St. John again behind his back looking for Goddard. They got Triolo behind the net. As Goddard cut in through the middle. This one down the floor. Udding was trying to catch up, but couldn't before the over and back call. That took 31 seconds off the penalty time. Still a 2-goal lead for the Oshawa Outlaws, as they're up 6-4 with 3 minutes gone in the second quarter. Mark Vredenberg, the captain of the Timbermen, directing traffic. He'll now pass it all the way up top for Woods. He works the far wall. A bouncer hits off the boards and up into the rafters. Quickly picked up and trying to send Ryan Nolan down the floor. Nearly came away with the beautiful catch cleanly. But it's up for Triolo. One-handed bouncer here. St. John, Goddard. In the corner, McNulty. And back the way it came. 40 seconds left of the power play. Here's the shot late in the clock. Save made by Woods as it goes up out of play. McNulty will get a fresh 30. St. John and Goddard playing catch. Now they'll get Triolo involved. Teammates in this Oshawa area for about 4 years. There's Triolo, the shot and a goal. Up by this Outlaws squad as they lead by 3 yet again, 7-4. 10:53 left to go in the second. Face-off win by Jelly as DeBrone came in for the loose ball. There's McCrory into the corner. McCrory, an off-season trade acquisition for this Oshawa team. As Josh Gilray backs it into the corner. Looking for the cutter there, Ribka, who already has one in the game. And they give the ball to Peterborough here. And the Oshawa bench. Steve McCarthy, Steve told John Webb, disagree with that call. Woods bouncing around the far side. Woods trying to get it back for Bergen, who spins away. Tyler Roach posturing up as the defender. Up top for Hartley. Getting it back for Woods again. Takes the step and fires a low bouncer. That was saved by Rance Vigneault. Another short hop right in front of Ryan Nolan. He's going to get one here in this period, as this is a bouncer off of DeBrone, and he's arguing. DeBrone says draw ball, but they'll take the officials' timeout instead. Oshawa leading 7-4. We'll take a break. Peterborough with the restart from the restraining line. Here's Woods over for Bergen. High man is Mark Vredenberg. He'll send it down low. Vredenberg tied up. We're getting another penalty coming here to Oshawa. And as Vigneault makes the save, it'll be a hold in the middle. Graham Bergsma looks skyward. I don't even think it's his penalty. This might be Paul Jelly. From the corner, played up for Bergen. Bergen, now Vredenberg. A lot of movement through the middle. As a shot there from Simpson. He's looking for his first half hat trick. Already with 2 as Bergen gets it back. Now Hartley in the corner. Hartley back up top for Bergen. Passing it down, the one-handed stab. Bergen through a crowd, and the shot off the foot. And taking exception to that was McCrory, who got up in the face of Bergen. Bergen has it again. Back for Woods. Bergen, now Hartley, intercepted by McCrory, and he'll turn the Jets on here. He's got 1 going with him, but 4 Timbermen also headed that direction. And McCrory pulls it out and will pass to Graham Bergsma. 1:10 left in this penalty. That Oshawa is going to try and take all the way down. And they give it to the biggest man on the floor, Mike Triolo. Triolo, a hop step, a turn, a shot. And Woods with the save. Rebound nearly found its way out to Jeff McNulty. And out of the corner. Here's McNulty. Ethan Riggs trying to keep him along the end boards. Ball down here. Riggs posturing up as DeBrone now comes in to help out. 8 minutes remaining in the half. 30 seconds left in the Timbermen power play. Special teams players pouring out the door here for Peterborough as Vredenberg gets it. Up top for Bergen again. A ton of movement in the middle. As it's Simpson providing the picks. Down for Hartley. Off his stick and out of play. As Josh Taguri gets it back, ducks under a slash. Vigneault was headed to the bench. He thought for sure there was a penalty coming. It is not, though, as Gage Board sends it back to the near side. Now up top. John St. John backing away. Another penalty coming here as the shot clock under 10. Vigneault doesn't make it to the bench. We'll get a holding the stick call against the Timbermen with 7 minutes and 16 seconds left. Oshawa still with this 3-goal lead as they're up 7-4 with Vredenberg headed to the box and the Oshawa Outlaws headed to the Visionware power play. John St. John. Send it down the left side of the horn first. They go around back of the net. St. John and Goddard. Now Triolo, Quick stick there, McNulty. Triolo had thought that the save was made by Woods. As Udding ducks under the chop there. Triolo thought about giving a slash. Udding's still with it, though, as Brad Lyons postures up with him. Dive attempt and a goal. Doug Udding all by himself. The initial end-to-end rush. Front of the net, 6:36 remaining here in the half. Minute 20 remaining in the penalty as Udding gets the shorthanded goal. And Oshawa caught in the neutral zone trying to sneak a late change in. As the officials had already signaled they were set. There's Colton Armstrong now. Timbermen trying to capitalize. They trail by only 2 here. Still a man down for the next minute. Here's Hartley. That hits something in front as the shot clock now expires. Taguri racing off to the bench. As no one wants to touch the ball, they're all getting out of the way as they don't want the delay of game penalty, the early one, called earlier on in the period. It'll now be Triolo up top. Big pick through the middle, a couple of them, as the ball ends up bouncing into the stick of Ethan Woods, who has settled down greatly after the first 3 shots he faced in this game. Ended up behind him, 1 minute and 7 seconds. It was 3-0 for Oshawa. They lead by just 2 now, with just under 6 to play in the half. Here's Triolo. Hard rip there that Woods makes the save on. Triolo standing in front of the ball there, allowing Gilray to pick it up. Far side, Goddard having trouble with it. McWaters in the middle, spins away, takes a shot. And the rebound rolling through the crease. There for Gilray to pick up. Well, I thought pick up, but it rolled off the end of his stick and back into the crease of Woods. Those of you that are familiar with our summer lacrosse work, you'll notice the stick changes. Here for the goaltenders, the plastic soup spoon NLL winter style sticks for these goaltenders, as diving through the crease and falling in the crease is Mark Vredenberg. Cross-court pass, for Nick Andrioli. As we're in officials' timeout territory. John St. John taking the shot, partially blocked there by Caleb Bingley. Bingley will outlet. Croy Arnold, and through the crease. There was Bingley on the return. 7-5 here in the second quarter. We'll take a timeout before heading to halftime. Ball will be restarted on the Oshawa end of the floor. Triolo high stepping as he faces off with Doug Utting here. Utting backpedaling. Oh, almost a running lane there for Triolo as he decides to go to the far side, and Cam Garland rips a hard shot. Late change there for the Timbermen as they sent one man off to the bench thinking that was their ball, and Oshawa couldn't capitalize in time as now Doug Utting turns it into a numbers match for his team as a shot there. Was the save made by Vigneault? No, it wasn't before it went out of play. Quickly down the floor, one back for Bergsma. How did he catch that? Oh, and how did Woods save it as it gets between the 5-hole and he crouches over top. Pass from all the way out of the corner. Looked almost like a video game glitch as it ended up in the stick of Bergsma. As we now get another slashing penalty. Goaltender headed to the bench. In behind the play, it's Woods making the long run. And right at the whistle, a big collision in along the glass will send nothing on the power play, although they do have a Doug Utting shorthanded marker. Vredenberg up top for Bergen. They'll switch now. Vredenberg straight down the middle. That one heads off the end boards and nearly ended up here. Here's McRory back the other way, though, and Woods this time blocking the 5-hole. Clay Arnold. Back for Aaron Woods. Bergen slowly walking his way to the quarterback position. Behind his back there for Simpson. Simpson got 2 goals quickly, but nothing since. As Bergen now backs away from pressure. Vredenberg out of the corner, kind of nonchalantly turning that into a quality scoring opportunity as the low shot. Vredenberg standing up in front of his man as the goaltender tried to clear it. Deep in the 8 count now as Gage Ford does get it across center. Halfway through the shot clock now, though, as Lyons is on the far side. Brad Lyons works its way to the crease where McNulty picks it up, and he had gone through the crease as he tried to get it back for Josh Gilray. 2.5 left in the first half with 35 seconds remaining on this Peterborough Timbermen Visionware power play. Bergen, Vredenberg in the corner for Hartley. Back up top for Bergen now. Bergen and the Timbermen trying to work this man advantage. Woods, couple stutter steps. Now Bergen the shot straight down the pipe, saved by Rance Vigneault. He'll bounce it across to the wall. As racing down the boards, Mark DeBrone. DeBrone trying to get the pass through and couldn't get it past the defender as Caleb Bingley got his body in the way. DeBrone the pass that got stopped up right in front of the Oshawa bench as Goddard has to force a bouncer in on net. Woods makes the save deep in the shot clock. We are back to 5-on-5 lacrosse here. As Lyman Beatty. Back for Thompson. Woods. He'll flip it to the man up top. Now Vredenberg posturing up. Awkward collision there. Couple players going down. Vredenberg turns around and gives a two-hander into the legs of Rob Clofer. And it looked like they were going to start in a shoving match. Just an awkward collision between the two of them. Vredenberg is going to get the slash. Screen from the Peterborough player in front caused Clofer to go down, awkwardly colliding with Vredenberg. They shoved a little bit on the way out, and Vredenberg turned and gave a two-hander into the midsection of Rob Clofer, who has now gone down the tunnel. Could just be because there's a minute left, and he knows he's not going to see power play time here, but Oshawa up 7-5, trying to get a late one here in the period. Triolo trying to send it through a crowd off the stick of Doug Utting, who's had quite the game. Already a shorthanded marker trying for number 2, and Rance Vigneault across to his right to make the save. Here's Gage Board. Board up and over the restraining line now. Back for Triolo. 30 seconds remaining in the period. Back for John St. John. Vigneault remains in the net with Oshawa on the power play. Triolo, McNulty, St. John. A lot of movement left side, and it works as St. John fires through a crowd and makes it 8-5. The second power play goal of the game for the Oshawa Outlaws, as it matches the one that Mike Triolo put in earlier on in this second quarter. 17.2 seconds remaining. A reminder, Oshawa does not have a timeout. They used theirs at the end of the first quarter. We'll see if Joe Sullivan elects to take his, should the Timbermen come away with this ball. Timbermen do come away with the ball, and then filled in was Zach Thompson as they were calling timeout. Ethan Woods on the bench for the final shot offense for the Peterborough Timbermen. They quickly work it to the far side. And a lot of time left as it's covered up by Rance Vigneault. Down the floor is DeBrone. Shot from the corner, and there may have been time, but the shot was a little too high. Oshawa Outlaws don't need that final one, though, as they got 8 in the first half compared to just 5 for the Peterborough Timbermen. We'll take a quick timeout and be back. You're watching Arena Lacrosse League action on the JVI Sports Network from Children's Arena in Oshawa. An exciting, fast-paced, and physical first half as early movement on the line from Triolo will give Peterborough Timbermen first possession here. They trail by 3 after the first half, 8-5. Doug Utting shorthanded, Tim Bergen, Fred Hartley, and Cameron Simpson with a pair. The goal scorers for the Peterborough Timbermen. As they've got to regroup here after Cameron Simpson was filled in on the crease. Rance Vigneault crouches over the shot attempt and passes up here for Oshawa to get things started. Toguri, McWaters, back up for Cam Garland. Garland will go for John St. John now. He got one on the power play. Goddard has a pair. Triolo with a pair, including one on the power play, as the Timbermen come back at Vigneault once more. This time the shot goes wide. Ryan McCrory, Mike Ribka, Mark DeBrone complete the scoring for the Oshawa Outlaws in that first period. Graham Bergsma on a bounce to the far side for Triolo. John St. John, Goddard. Triolo through the center, the shot. And signaling for the bench, St. John knocked down but didn't quite get over half. Ball close to getting there again as Dylan Goddard now filled in. He'll recover as he passes far side intended for Triolo. And they need another reset as it's off a foot. And back into the crease of Ethan Woods. No signs of this thing slowing down here. What a game we're being treated to right now as Board will send it up for Brad Lyons. His shot saved by Woods. They try to get it back to him again as now Lyons we're looking for this loose ball. In there, Rob Clofer has a big hit on the far side on Joe Wasson. And the arm is high, and we're getting a penalty here to Oshawa. Woods already on the bench. Joe Sullivan in the ear of Kyle Krotman. As Vredenberg pushes it into the corner for Hartley. Skips past him late in the shot clock. Woods right out in front. He shoots. He scores. Aaron Woods with the extra attacker. In the quarter, it's a boarding penalty. Was going to be the call, which you can get a 2-minute minor under NLL rules. That's a change from the normal summer. Bergsma again moving early as he crouched in against Brett Coons. That's the third time Coons has drawn early movement against his face-off counterpart. And, of course, we started the half with Triolo trying to break in off the line. Quick shot, it gets through the legs of Rance Vigneault and Fred Hartley with his second. Don't look now, but it's a 1-goal game as the Peterborough Timbermen trying to put a run together here. Coons will crouch in this time against Paul Jelly as the Oshawa Outlaws try and find an answer. Jelly won it cleanly back to the line, but the first one there was Zach Thompson. As back to the line, over and back against the Oshawa Outlaws. Against Peterborough. As Taguri gets it back. John St. John in the corner to Goddard, and St. John filled in as he tried to cross it through the top of the crease. McWaters far side. McNulty crouching underneath a hit. No Triolo on this set, and it results in a shot clock violation. Mike Ribka and Jeremy McWaters trying to match the size there, but without the captain, there was just a lot of uncertainty in the middle on that offensive set for the Oshawa Outlaws. Woods trying to send it far side. Intercepted, though, by Nick Andrioli. And then Woods will get it back as the stick check on Andrioli. Those two meet again at the restraining line as it's stripped away. And back over center by Rob Clofer. Trying to get it away from center line so they're out of harm's way of a possible over and back as Cam Garland gives for John St. John. St. John to the far side. Josh Gilray looking for a chance, but the ball bounces into the crease of Woods. He'll push it up for Lyman Beatty. Same floor configuration we had in the second quarter. The short defensive change, long offensive change, and Lyman Beatty looks to be down and in some considerable pain here on this carpet, and a lot of concern from a lot of those players down there as it looks like he's clutching the knee. Will step aside here in Oshawa. As the trainers will now go to work, we'll try and get word, but anybody that's been around this game long enough knows that that sight is all too common and usually not good news, but we hope the best for Lyman Beatty. McWaters, far side, as Triolo takes the shot. It looked like he was intending that maybe as a pass for Goddard, as this is a big set here with McWaters and Triolo over on the right side of the floor. Peterborough Timbermen bench are fired up. Man, what was the pep talk in the room at halftime? They've come out with so much energy here in the opening 4 minutes and 40 seconds. They're back within one, liable to blow the roof off this place, the low roof as it is here at Children's Arena, should they be able to tie this thing up. Couple swim moves here and a low shot, and it's through the legs of Vigneault. And indeed that is the case. It is a tie game here for the Timbermen. And is that the hat trick for Hartley? It may be Vredenberg's goal. We will have to wait. And they're back tied. They have not led in this game. They've been tied once before, 3-3. After going down 3-0, here it comes. The shot there, and Vigneault stands on the shot as it was taken by Colton Armstrong. It is indeed a Vredenberg goal from Tim Bergen, as Triolo From the half wall, up for John St. John. Down for Dylan Goddard now. Goddard trying to find the cutter. That cutter's gone through the crease as Doug Utting tries to touch up, and that'll take us to the officials' timeout. Sticks out on the bench of the Peterborough Timbermen. They come out flying to start this third quarter. Play restarts in the Peterborough zone. They would have been happy to just keep the period going, I would assume, as they have the momentum and have had it since coming out of the locker room. All 3 goals in the period from the Peterborough Timbermen. Trying here, Cameron Simpson still stuck on those 2 goals as this ball bounces all the way to the restraining line. Finally, Jeff McNulty runs into it. McNulty takes a massive whack there from Dalton Hill. Big collision in front of the, Peterborough Timbermen bench. As a tie-up at the line, Mick Waters, they say was tipped. Another big collision in front of the Timbermen bench, but they were able to get the pass away. Here's Goddard all alone on the far side as they were trying to sort out the pile back on the bench late in the 5 count here for Woods. Now they've got to get over center before 8. They do just that. Oh, man, I don't know where the count was for Cropman, but it took probably 4.5 or more to get out of the crease of Woods and then back over center. Bergen a pick there. Nick Andrioli wanted a moving screen call, but not going to come as the Oshawa Outlaws break out with 3-on-2. Now they'll pull back as the Timbermen are in their own defensive zone. Tied at 8. A reminder that a Peterborough win will put them tied with St. Catharines for top spot. Oshawa can make it a 3-way tie for second with a win of their own. Currently in action, St. Catharines and Toronto, a game you can catch on the YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and check out the playlist as all games that we cover here in the JVI Sports Network in the Arena Lacrosse League will show up there. Turning and firing was Joe Wasson as he was filled in. Down the floor, Josh Taguri. Corkscrew shot, and he gets up and quickly turns back the other way. They call him the pit bull, and he runs right into Joe Wasson there. Wasson wants a, out of the corner, here comes the Timberman. Wasson wants a, at the time, Minnesota Swarm draft choice, was going through physicals and actually was found with cancer. Beat that and is back playing after a couple years off. Trail official was signaling reset. Shot clock does expire though as Graham Bergsma looks like he's going to get the fresh 30 for the Oshawa Outlaws. Conversation in front of the Oshawa bench between Vredenberg and Clofer as meanwhile Jeff McNulty turns away from coverage. Onto the crease for St. John, and Oshawa have taken the lead. And the Peterborough Timbermen still yet to lead in this game. They've tied it twice as Paul Jelly now comes away with the face-off win, gets it for Gage Board. Board will turn back. Goddard, and as it often does, the ball finds Mike Triolo. Just over 6 minutes remaining in our third quarter. Goddard will play this one off the wall. Around the back. Intended for Mike Ribka. It's past him. Woods will bring it down. Will this one find the screening? No, it won't. But it will bounce into the stick of Cam Garland. He's cradling one-handed and straight in the numbers and down. Peterborough arguing this as the penalty is going to come. 2 officials with their arms in the air. As Garland lowered the shoulder, he wasn't going to take a hit for the second time from Colton Armstrong. Big whack down low as the shot comes. Here's John St. John, his shot through traffic, and that hits off a Peterborough player back over center and finally touched up by Ethan Riggs, and we'll get the penalty call. I imagine it'll be an illegal cross check, although they could go to check from behind. St. John quickly works it through the right side of the horn. See if they get the lefties involved. It'll be Goddard setting the pick. That lets St. John walk into the middle, but his shot handled there by Woods. Woods through the rafters and heads up Brad Giroux. As Doug Utting will corral the loose ball in the corner. Did check with the official between games. We can take the official's timeout while on a penalty. Just can't do it after a goal. So we are in official's timeout territory here, despite the power play. That is brought to you by Visionware, and there indeed is the horn with a 1-goal lead for the Oshawa Outlaws. They remain on the power play for 1 minute and 19 seconds. Oshawa Outlaws on the Visionware power play, 1 minute 15 seconds remaining in it. As St. John across the line. Quickly into the corner for McNulty. Goddard, St. John, Triolo, now Gilray. Represent the 5, spreading the floor a little bit here for the Oshawa Outlaws. Now behind the cage, Gilray. Had Triolo in front, couldn't get it out to him. St. John with 5 of the shot clock. Gilray back for St. John. The low shot rises a little bit, and shot clock had sounded, but there should have been a reset. This will count, I believe. And it's a 10-8 lead for the Oshawa Outlaws. 4:18 remaining in the quarter. The pace of the action in this one has slowed down a little bit, although it's been still frantic pace in this second half. Gauge board run over. We'll give a fresh 30 here to the Outlaws. All the way up top for McNulty. Ducking underneath is, pardon me, Josh Gilray. I was going to say Tyler Roach, but that is indeed Josh Gilray ducking under coverage. As the cross check came, the nifty move to ride just underneath and created just enough space to get the shot away, and the 11th goal for the Outlaws. And the Peterborough Timbermen are going to call timeout. And if you've got children at home, you may want to mute the television for this one. Could get spicy over on the Timbermen bench. Conversation actually seemed quite calm over on the Peterborough Timbermen bench. As we look over, Joe Sullivan is getting the news, I assume, on Lyman Beatty, who we saw go down as the trainer has gone over. Couple whacks here for Ryan McCrory as he tries to get through a maze of bodies. Took a slash on his way. And there's going to be another penalty coming here to the Peterborough Timbermen, who came out of the dressing room for this second half, some fired up, and he gave them enough energy and enthusiasm to tie the game. But since then, an Oshawa Outlaws run has them up by 3, 11-8. And Peterborough's going to touch this one up. It goes for the over and back call, and we will get that slashing penalty and the Visionware power play for the Oshawa Outlaws. St. John has 2 of those. Mike Triolo has the other. This is Triolo here, accepting the pass from Gilray. St. John up top. Behind the back now. St. John nearly tipped by Doug Utting. Down low for McNulty. Gilray cutting through. He couldn't find the loose ball. Straight up the middle. And the back check there from Goddard. The shot from Utting. Already has 1 shorthanded marker in this game. As they race after this loose ball. Utting is in there. I'm not sure who he's matched up with, but Goddard trying the over-the-shoulder check as Lions trying to do the same. The shot just goes wide of the net from Colton Armstrong. And up and out of play. This will be Oshawa ball. There's a good catch over on the bench by Ryan Schutzkowski. Backup netminder today for the Oshawa Outlaws. 3rd string goalie also in the house, Scotty Comer. As we said, the Peterborough Timbermen without Nick DeMood, who this week signed a practice roster deal with the Rochester Nighthawks. who I believe are in action tonight in National Lacrosse League, as we call this game here on a Saturday. One in a long line, the latest in a long line of Arena Lacrosse League graduates to the NLL. In our last game, we were missing Steve Orleman, as he's been picked up by the Georgia Swarm. On their practice roster, his older brother Kevin, believe a former Arena Lacrosse League member. Official on the far side says an over and back call against Brad Lyons. Mike Triolo vehemently disagreeing, as that will take care of the penalty here for the Peterborough Timbermen. 11-8 Outlaws as we near the final minute of play in the third quarter. Over to the far side, Vredenberg racing in, the shot and the save. As it's off the boards, played by Gageboard. As he's rushing in, was somewhat all by himself. A high pass here. Climbing the ladder to bring it down is Rob Clofer. This game brought to you by Barrie Tourism, it seems, as a number of players from the Barrie area featured, including the Woods, Rob Clofer, Tyler Roach, or have at least played in Barrie at some point during their careers. Ball down in behind the net, picked up by Peterborough. Here's the shot. This is one of the Woods brothers. Aaron Woods taking that shot, as breaking away is McRory. McRory has Taguri with him, and I don't think Taguri was expecting the pass, except even though McRory was on his wrong side, McRory will come down with it, and Oshawa calls their second half timeout here. 18.8 seconds remaining in the quarter, and they'll go last shot. Six Oshawa Outlaws take the floor on the far side. Gilray, McWaters, Triolo starting out of the corner. Getting it through Cam Garland, they come all the way back up top. Vigneault on the bench for this final set. Gilray out of the corner, here comes the play. As John St. John sneaking out. And I think that caused some panic and a bit of a rush as Woods double clutched a little bit before bombing it down the floor. It goes wide anyways. And we head to the final frame with the Oshawa Outlaws leading by 3, 11-8 over the Peterborough Timbermen. Arena Lacrosse League action on the JVI Sports Network returns to Oshawa in just a moment. Back inside Children's Arena, getting set for the fourth and final regulation time quarter, as Paul Jelly will chase this loose ball off the faceoff right in front of his own bench. For the Oshawa Outlaws, they lead by 3. Remember the blistering start they got off to. All 3 initial shots getting through Ethan Woods. And Mark DeBrone, the first one of this quarter, gets through as well. He scored the third of that run, and he's been silent ever since. That's just his second goal of the game. But Mark DeBrone making it a 12-8 lead. Despite that blistering start, this is the largest lead of the game. For the Oshawa Outlaws, Peterborough Timbermen, all they've done is been able to tie 3-3 and 8-8. And it's been 4 straight for the Oshawa Outlaws. Graham Bergsma pulling this one free. Everyone piles on. Just outside of the restraining line. Still up for grabs as Graham Bergsma will chase down Colton Armstrong, who picks it up. Vredenberg shoving in front of the crease. Meanwhile, Triolo all alone in front of Ethan Woods. He shrugs his shoulders and will make the save. Vredenberg and Mark Clofer still jawing with each other, as now they'll separate as the ball comes in. Tim Bergen to the middle, up top for Vredenberg. Vredenberg around the corner, ball pops out of his stick, and Clofer will chase it down. And Clover and Vredenberg find each other in the corner again. Vredenberg's lost his stick. Oshawa calling for the foul. The banter between the benches today is a thing of beauty, as we've been treated to a thing of beauty on the floor as well. 20 goals so far, 12 of those for Oshawa as they're up by 4. Here with a minute and a half gone in our final quarter. Ball bounces into the crease of Woods. He'll pick up. Dalton Hill, a bit of trouble with it. Big swim move to get around DeBrone. And now Hill will work his way around the crease of the Oshawa Outlaw netminder. Back for Bergen. Tim Bergen looking for help. Comes in the form of Fred Hartley, sitting on 2 goals. His shot off the arm, it looked like there of the netminder. Around the back, though, of Brad Lyons. Up and out of play without hitting anything. So now the Timbermen. Both teams trying to settle in here as we've switched ends once again. This is a quick offensive change period, but long run should either team decide to pull the goaltender. Shot and a goal here. I believe that's Tim Bergen, who gets the first in quite some time for the Peterborough Timbermen as they're back to trailing by 3. As we get started on this fourth quarter. Big shove there by Zach Thompson. Thompson being chased down here by Ryan Nolan now as the Timbermen come through, and a big collision in on the crease. I was wondering where or when we would get an interference call. It finally comes. Could have made a case for about 3 or 4 more. Caleb Bingley taking exception to being stood over top of, as this is all the way up top by Fred Hartley. Far side shot and a goal. They were all calling for the reset, but it's not going to matter as Aaron Woods gets his second of the game. And guess what? The Timbermen are rolling once more. This is how they started the third quarter. Coming out with a roll, ended up tying it at 8. Now trailing by 2, they're down 12-10. As Paul Jelly will win this one cleanly out. Rainbow through his legs as it drops right down into the stick, though, of Colton Armstrong of the Timbermen. Armstrong drops his head. Thought of going for a run. This one will go over and back. Racing into it, Paul Jelly. Couldn't quite beat Fred Hartley, who was there for the over and back violation. As now it bounces for Triolo. Mike Triolo trying to ISO him. A quick shot in on net, saved by Woods. As working down the far boards, the whole pile goes down. Shovel pass there from John St. John. As it works its way to Gilray. Faking the shot, taking the shot now, and Woods gets caught up in the cuff of his glove. 2-goal lead for Oshawa. Things are starting to get chippy down there as well. Little shots here or there on almost every line change. As racing in is Hartley. His shot saved by Vigneault. So works to the far boards. DeBrone is there. Pushing it along the boards. Into the stick, though, Zach Thompson. And the Timbermen have a fresh 30 seconds. Mark Vredenberg. Couple high step hops before lifting that shot. And it bounces down the floor. Here's Taguri. Taguri all alone. His shot save made by Woods. Those two matching up over the years in junior. As this will roll back up for Goddard. DeBrone, a third time he's been on the floor on this shift, where he ends up hitting the turf, looks at the official, asking for a penalty, none coming. As a big-time shot here from Triolo straight down the pipe, and Woods will make the save. Bouncer down, intended for Vredenberg off his stick. As it's played into the corner. Big swipe there, up for Graham Bergsma now. Bergsma Cross to his wrong side, quick stick, and a goal. And that opened up. Everything went away from Cam Mancini. And the quick stick goal restores the 3-goal lead for the Oshawa Outlaws. Now up to 13-10 as we're in officials timeout territory. Heads up here is the face-off loose ball. Rolls right in front of our broadcast position. And Caleb Bingley takes it straight to the cage. Will now pull out as the shot comes there from Aaron Woods. With 2 goals in the game. One of them with the extra attacker out, Woods. We'll slow things down. Zach Thompson. His shot around the high man, and Thompson will score. Timbermen continue to get one back. We go back and forth here in the 4th quarter. But that's not good enough if you're a fan of Peterborough. Someone's going to need to get a run here. It looked like Peterborough was going to be the team that did it, as the energy in the building starts to pick up a little bit. Official checking on Rance Vigneault after that goal. He looks to be okay, though. Was wondering there for a second, but we crouch back in. Doug Utting to face-off circle, and he'll win it. The Timbermen will win possession at least, as it's in the corner for Vredenburg. Tries to turn back. Defense by Clover. Him and Vredenburg on the crease, matching each other again. They've had a thing going all game long. As walking in the shot from Fred Hartley, a second attempt, and he was in the crease. And now Utting and Clover will tie up, as Doug Utting, I think, had enough of Clover taking on Vredenburg. We've hit the officials' timeout, though. We'll see if a 1.5-minute rest will cool any of these tempers. 2-goal lead for Oshawa. Rance Vigneault starts this set on the bench, as all that does is get the offense in, but they turn it over quickly. Vigneault racing back to the bench. Utting tries the long bomb shot, and Vigneault will get there as the shot is wide. Struggling with it right at center is Steph Borden, and Borden will come down with it as Stephen Borden. His corkscrew bouncer straight in the stick of Lions. John St. John behind everybody, shoots and scores. Gets a couple taps on the helmet as he makes his way back to the Timbermen bench. Jelly and Coons head to head here. Clover and Hill, they might square off right at center. Penalties already coming. Clover wants to go, Hill does not. And they'll walk away as both of them are going to get sent to the box. Initial penalty looked like was coming to Hill. Now Rob Clover having words with a couple players on the Timbermen bench. Steve McCarthy doesn't like the fact that his man's headed off for a penalty. On the way to the timeout, Clover was having words with the Timbermen bench as well. Already this afternoon, Whitby and Paris, a game you can check on our YouTube page, as well as at Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Battle for first place this weekend, St. Catharines and Toronto. Tomorrow from the ILA, Whitby and Six Nations. Double headers on Saturday and Sunday next week, February the 16th and the 17th at the ILA. Action begins here at 3 p.m. For more on the schedule, visit arenalacrosseleague.com. As Hartley over for Bergen, his shot, Vigneault is down to make the save. High shot, we are 5-on-5 as those penalties offset. Vigneault will lift it out of the crease. Tie up down the floor. The schedule here at Children's Arena on February the 16th. Paris and Peterborough at 3, which could be for second place. And then the second game at 7 p.m., Oshawa and Whitby. It's going to be a good day of action here next Saturday, as St. John And Goddard play catch on that left side, down in the corner. Here's Gilray. Wanted a shot, goes for St. John instead, stolen away by Utting. Doug Utting looking to see his options, takes it to the cage, and Vigneault, the arm save. It goes up and out of play, and Doug Utting will get the restart. Already with one shorthanded goal, Doug Utting making a bid for his second, as he'll just hang on to it here at the restraining line. 15 seconds on the shot clock. The Sunday schedule next weekend is at the ILA. That's February 17th, with action beginning at 1 p.m. Utting facing the double team, tries to swim through them, gets it back, takes the shot and scores. Oh my. Doug Utting, his second goal of the game, his second shorthanded goal, and the second beauty where he's done everything on his own. Doug Utting, have a game. Individual effort twice now for Doug Utting results in a shorthanded goal. 14-12 is your score with 7 minutes left in regulation time. Bergsma and Coons at the dot. Tie up here in front as it ends up in the stick of Gage Board. Gage Board to take it to the crease. He popped out for Bergsma instead. And now in the corner. Oshawa Outlaws on the Visionware power play for the next 40 seconds as St. John takes it from the restraining line. Him and Goddard. Down in the corner, McNulty. Threading the needle, McNulty gets the quick stick shot and the save made by Woods. Trying to keep it out of the crease so they don't go back in. Bingley flipping it for Armstrong, who takes it to the cage, and Vigneault will make the save before the ball goes up and out of play. Timbermen will restart at center. It's Hartley with Lyons sparring him. 10 seconds left in the penalty, so Woods will slow things down. That Sunday schedule, the Toronto Monarchs and the Six Nations Snipers at 1 p.m. Then the Peterborough Timbermen, St. Catharines Shockwave. Could be the battle for first place next week as well at 4 p.m. February 17th at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. Bouncer through traffic by Cameron Simpson. Shot goes wide. As under 6 to play now in the fourth quarter. Lions outside the restraining line. What a game we've been treated here. Second of 2 here at Children's Arena is Triolo. Trying to flip it to his man on the crease, but all the lanes were blocked as Gilray plays it off the glass. 5 seconds left. A shot for Goddard. Straight down the pipe. Save made. Gilray with the rebound across to McNulty and the goal. But with 5:11 left, it's 15-12 for the Oshawa Outlaws. Bergsma winning the face-off back to the line. Cam Mancini picks up. Had thoughts of taking it to the cage for his second, attempting at his second goal, I should say. As he'll now bounce a pass over for Cam Garland. Far side for St. John. Garland with the pick. Triolo's shot. And just a partial stick check to send that one out of play and to take us to our final officials timeout. Oshawa leading by 3 as you watch Arena Lacrosse League action on the JVI Sports Network. Penalty boxes are empty. We're 5-on-5. The offsetting minors have cleared as well as Vredenberg brings it across the restraining line. Over to the far side. What a pickup there as they bring it back up top for Bergen. That was Woods keeping the possession alive over on the far side as Bradenberg now cuts to the net. Hartley around a screen and a shot through. Shot clock reset. I'm not sure that Vigneault touched it. The count is down on the floor as comes back over center after not hitting anything. And Lions will get the restart. Clock continued to run there with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Now they want the reset. It's not coming. Count is down on the floor again. As a shot through traffic gets through, and Woods will make the save. Bouncer off the glass. Hill can't come down with it cleanly. And Oshawa, 3 back and 3 in the offensive zone is 1 too many. And they'll get a substitution penalty. As it looks like Tim Bergen is going to get things started here. Vredenburg taking top spot. His shot scores. The quick release as he dropped it down 3/4. And Vredenburg's second of the game is a power play marker. The first power play goal of the game the Peterborough Timbermen have scored. They had one from Aaron Woods on a delayed penalty and the pair of shorthanded markers from Utting. But now the power play marker from Jeff McNulty to make it a 2-goal game. Timbermen have been climbing uphill the entire way, have managed to tie it twice, and now they trail by 2 with 3.5 left in regulation. Face-off controlled by Oshawa, though, tied up and held at bay. Taguri and Utting takes the shot. Taguri fills in. Utting right on the crease, and Josh Taguri is going to sit for a hold. And the Timbermen with a golden opportunity here. As McNulty scored on their most recent power play quickly. Trying to do the same again with 3:10 remaining. 15-13 the score. For the Oshawa Outlaws, Bergen. Off to his left. Back for Vredenburg. Big pick in front from Simpson. He's the guy that takes the shot. And Cameron Simpson, the save made by Rance Vigneault. Pass through the middle of the floor for Rob Clofer. He'll clear center. Travis Elvin's on him. To the far side for Goddard. Triolo. McNulty. Over for Garland. Late in the shot clock here as Triolo was looking for the one-handed pickup with Parker Sands all over him. And the shot clock does expire, 1:15 remaining on this Peterborough power play. Vredenburg, a quick turn and peek at the clock. Nearing the 2-minute warning as Vredenburg puts it in the corner. Up top for Bergen. Pick in front of Bergen by Simpson. They work it down for Hartley. His shot. Save made by Vigneault. It goes up into the rafters. And the Timbermen will get a reset. Tim Bergen fakes the behind the back pass. Goes in the corner for Woods. His shot off a defender. Coming down with it cleanly, though, is Gage Board. Trying to break center before the 8 count. He does. Down for DeBrone, who dives through, making big-time contact with the goaltender and then into the back. Was the man out of the corner, and now Colton Armstrong in. DeBrone is down in the crease. As Armstrong, I'm not sure who he's paired with there. I mean, maybe Mike Ribka, who came all the way from the restraining line. So after all that, a dead ball foul against Mark Vredenburg and a 5-minute interference call against Mark DeBrone for goaltender interference results in a 3-minute power play, 3-minute major power play for the Timbermen. They're already with one in the box for 20 seconds as the Outlaws come away with the ball, leading by 2. Trying to get it, the first one in there is Gage Board. Rolls away from him and Ryan McCrory. All of that was on Oshawa's shot clock. And a moving screen call against Ethan Woods. crowd and the bench asking for the high penalty against Woods. As a scramble right across center, everyone was paying attention to the goalie. Doug Utting, the only one that knew where the ball was, as he takes it to the cage. The shot and the goal, and a penalty in behind the play. We remain 5-on-4. There was a delayed penalty there, but I didn't see anyone go into the box. There's nothing on the board either, as the Timbermen set up with Bergen up top. What was a dandy of a game is coming to a bit of a standstill here with penalties and a far side shot and a goal for the low side. Into the final minute, it's a 1-goal game, and it's a major power play. The penalty that's up on the board, 2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the 5-minute major. To Mark DeBrone for goalie interference. It's Aaron Woods from Bergen as Graham Bergsma faces Coons. Bergsma drew it through his legs, and they're going to award it to Oshawa. It looked like it was Bergsma clean through his legs. Peterborough wanted the ball, but Oshawa's going to get it. Peterborough will get another shot, though, as Lyons turns and comes over center. A couple players trying to force him over and back Colton Armstrong, forcing him wide. Lyons will get it up top for Bergsma. He'll put the brakes on right at the restraining line. Halfway through the shot clock, 30 remaining in regulation. Over for Triolo. Utting and Triolo. Triolo out in front, Bergsma dumped. Lyons back with it. Triolo turns, fires, scores! There was time on the shot clock. 18.7 left. Oshawa with a 2-goal lead. Mike Triolo, short-handed goal, his third of the game. He got one even strength. He got one on the power play as well. And that one may just indeed hand Oshawa the victory here today and move them up into a 3-way tie for second. Still 18.7 left, and still the Peterborough power play, however. So a lot to be determined as Bergsma crouches right over top of this faceoff as him and Coons go head-to-head here. And Coons. Bergsma gets called for the faceoff violation. Woods to the bench. 7 seconds. Now 5 as a shot bounces through the crease. And it's going to come loose. Vigneault makes another save. It should be right at the buzzer. There's the horn, and the Oshawa Outlaws take a 16-14 victory. What a game here at Children's Arena in Oshawa. Again, doubleheader action next weekend at 3 p.m. Paris and Peterborough, 7 p.m. Oshawa and Whitby on February the 16th. Ladies and gentlemen, have a happy Valentine's Day. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and the playlist for season-long coverage of the Arena Lacrosse League here on the JVI Sports Network. For our producer, Gary Morrison, our director and camera operator, Alex Frazzo, I'm Matthew Carrick, and we will talk to you next time.